Hey guys, welcome back. So this is our next question from SQL 50 Leetcode. Question number 1070, product sales analysis 3. So here's the question. We have these two tables, sales and product. So in the sales table, this is the primary key, sales ID, year ID, and product ID is a foreign key. References column to product table. So foreign key is usually a primary key in a different table. So we can see in the product table, product ID is the primary key. Okay. Each row of this table shows a sales on the product ID in a certain year. Note that the price is per unit, okay? And then we have this product table again. We have the product ID, which is the primary key in this table and a foreign key in this table. And each row of this table indicates the product name of each product. So we have the product name and the product ID. Okay, so here's a question. Write a solution to select the product ID, year, quantity, and price for the first year of every product sold. Return the result table in any order. The result format is in the following example. So let's check the example. So here we have the sales table where we have the sales ID, product ID, year, quantity, and price. And we have the product table here. So this is the output. So what we are getting is, so let's see here, we have product ID 100, 100, and then 200. So for 100, we just want to show one row. We just want to get the values for the first year. So first year would be 2008. That's the earliest year. So we are just going to grab that. And from product ID 200, there's just one row. So we are going to get that. So we are going to get the product ID, fiscal year, quantity, price. So you notice, even though we have two tables here, in the output, we don't really need the products table here. So even though we have the products table, because we only need the product ID here, which we can get from the sales table, and we are not getting the product's name. So that's the only thing that's in the products table that's not in the sales table. So we don't really need to use a product table unless they wanted to see all the products listed regardless if they had a sale or not. So in that case, so let's say 300, we would have shown 300 here, even though there's no sales for 300, but they don't need that. They actually need only products that had a sale. So if there's no sale, we don't need that. So in this case, we won't even need the products table. We'll just work with the sales table. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so I'm gonna come back to our SQL Server Management Studio where I have created the two tables, product and sales. Again, as I said, we have the products table, but in this scenario, we don't really need to use it because we only need the sales table here. Okay, so what do we need here? We actually need the product ID and the first year or the minimum year for each product. So for that, what I can do is I can just do select all from sales, and I'm gonna select the product ID and I'm gonna select the minimum of the year. So this is gonna give me the minimum year. I'm just gonna give it an alias minimum year. And I am just gonna group it by product ID since we are using aggregate, which is the min here. So I'm gonna just group it by product ID. So let's execute this now. Okay, so you see in this query, we are getting the product ID and the first year. So for product ID 100, we are just getting to 2008. We don't want to get 2009. And then for 200, since there's only one row, the minimum will also be 2011. So this is perfect. Okay. So now we have to use this table, and what we can do now is I'm just gonna select again from my sales table to grab all the other columns, and I am gonna inner join with this whole table. I'm gonna put this whole thing as a subquery. So I'm just gonna do open and close brackets, and this one I'm gonna give it an alias. I'm just gonna call it min table. You can just give it any name, and here I'm just gonna join it on sales.product ID equals minimum table dot product ID. If I run it as is, it's just gonna give me all the rows because we are only joining it on the product ID, but I only want to get rows with the minimum year. So I only want to join on the minimum year. So what I can do for that is I can say also join on sales.year equals min table dot min year. And now if I execute it, it's gonna give me 2 rows versus 3 rows. Okay, this is perfect. So we have all the data here, and then I can just select the columns we need. So we need first our product ID, which we can get from any table. and then we need the minimum year. I'm gonna call it first year, and then we need the quantity and the price. Okay, this is all we need. So let me execute it now. Okay, so you see we are getting the product ID, the first year of the sales, and the quantity and price. So this is what we need. So this is perfect. I'm just gonna copy this code here. Okay, I'm gonna come back to our Leetcode and I'm gonna paste the solution here, and I'm gonna run it now. Ran successfully. If you found this helpful, please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel, and let me know if you guys have any questions. Thank you once again for watching.